into any drama with YouTube. So bear with me. All right. Hit that like button, everybody. I'm not going to be begging for likes today, so please hit that like button and let's get into it.
Honey. You want to come down to the basement? We could play pool, and I was making margaritas to make up from yesterday.
Well, actually, can you just write me a doctor's note?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. So Toya is bringing it back to, if you guys, and I know they're playing the playback now, but Toya is basically like, yeah, let me use your own words against you. You wanted to write a doctor's note for the rest of the people? Yeah. How do you like my doctor's note now?
We about to play a game.
I had to write the doctor's excuses.
Doctor's note.
I need the wifely and husband attention.
I'm gonna keep writing these.
Oh, really? You want?
Eesh. Honestly, every time I watch the scene between Toya and Eugene, this is the worst that I've ever seen it in my entire life. I feel like every time we've seen Toya and Eugene in the past, it's never ever gotten to this extent. I feel like this is way too much. It's never that intense ever between them. And so I definitely think that it was taking way too far by Toya. Tommy says, I think Eugene understands his wife. Absolutely, I agree with that. I think he does. Although I think that he needs to also stand up for himself a little bit more. And I like Toya, but I don't like the way she speaks to Eugene. I think that Toya is usually right. Her delivery is just very wrong most of the time. And the problem with when people have bad delivery is people focus on the delivery and nobody is focused on the message. We know 9 out of 10 when Toya is calling out people or saying things that, we don't want or we're not expecting her to say out of her mouth, we know, right, that 9 out of 10, she is actually correct. She's saying the things that we want to say. She's holding the people accountable. She's calling out the things that we would expect her to call out, right? Absolutely. However, to talk to your man like that in front of the people is absolutely, absolutely horrible and should not be the case at all. And so I get that he understands his wife and he should, but at the same time, it's not okay to speak to your husband like that in front of people, especially because also what then happens is the rest of the people now feel like it's okay to disrespect your husband. And we've seen them do that a lot of times. We've seen them do that. They've called Eugene and Eugenia, called him a bitch. They've called him all sorts of things just because of the disrespect. Just because of the disrespect. And so I think that there has to be a limit. And I hope that she will get some counseling, work on the way she speaks to him, because I don't think that he will continue to tolerate it. Especially now that we've seen him stand up now, I don't think he's going to continue to tolerate it. Also, let's be clear, if a woman was being spoken to the way Toya speaks to Eugene, everyone would go crazy about it. People will be calling out that behavior. How dare you, as a man, speak to a woman like that? But because a man is on the receiving end, yes, there is some outcry, but it's not on the same level.
Want to be hard?
No, just come down into the basement.
Okay.
I will say Toya looks nice. And to think that Toya is turning 50, she looks very, very good.
Hey, you playing cards? You know you don't never play cards.
No, I just sat down here.
Why are you sitting down like that?
Because I was making the margaritas, and I figured we'd play some pool and talk.
Okay.
Since we haven't played pool in a while. I don't like us having conflict. I like to resolve things quickly.
I actually handle things head on.
We know that, Toya. You handle things pretty intensely, hun. We all know that. I think everybody can see the way you handle things. But the way you handle things ain't good, hun. It is not. It is way too far. You take things way, way, way too far. I think there has to be a sweet spot somewhere that is not way, like, when there's like a little bit of a sweet spot where you're not taking things all the way to hell. Yeah, I think that would be nice for a change. Tommy says, I hope she works on it, please. They are such a beautiful family. I'll hate to see them break apart. Absolutely. I agree with that. I think they're a beautiful family. And I'm with you on that. Like, it would be so sad if they end up like breaking up because of this, especially when it's something that can easily be fixed. If someone just watches how she treats the other person. I think like it's not something where it's the end of the world, so to speak. But if you continue to behave like that, the man is going to feel emasculated, and he will find him a nice young tenderoni who will treat him better, who will kiss the floor that he walks on, especially because he's a provider and he comes across as kind. There are so many women that would jump through hoops for this man, so she better do better. I'm gonna just say that. Please hit the like button as you watch the live, guys. Yes, please.
And if I see that they're going,
Like a collision?
yes. What's wrong with these?
I don't want to. You can drink out of that all day long. I will drink out of a nice
A
glass.
cocktail glass?
I start thinking like, okay.
The one thing I would say I didn't like is I saw a lot of comments where people were dragging Toya for talking about drinking from that glass. Leave her alone. She is an outspoken woman. I don't see anything she said that was wrong. She's an outspoken woman. He married her knowing fully well she's outspoken. And I don't think we should try to change that. We should let people be who they are at the end of the day. What we are saying is to make sure you're not emasculating the man, but you're allowed to be vocal. You're allowed to have your opinions about things. So I don't think like the expectation that Toya is all of a sudden going to be this person that would keep quiet and let you run all over her and stuff. She's never going to be that person. Never.
Okay, what did I do wrong?
No. He usually takes it, then if something else happens, he puts it right on top of that. Then he blows up.
I think you're projecting.
No.
He said, I think you're projecting. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that Eugene may not necessarily address every single thing that happens. And I think in this case, yeah, it's yeah. In this case, I guess everything just boiled over
No.
on both ends. To be honest, on both ends, I think they all had a part to play in what happened that night. But I just wish Toya will talk differently about talk differently. Yeah, just talk differently about your partner, please, or talk differently to your partner.
Okay, let's get the heavy lifting out the way. One, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I want to say I'm sorry. I misjudged what that party meant for you. But I do feel like you need to take a little ownership with what you said in front of people who we don't even feel all the way safe with. They've made a lot of emasculating jokes.
Exactly. They've made a lot of emasculating jokes. And to be in that position where your wife is the one giving the people ammunition is crazy to me. Your wife should not be part of the people giving the people ammunition at all. So I'm definitely with Eugene on that. Like, you can't be part of the people giving them ammunition. Absolutely not. Yeah, that was intense. Contessa is rara. I forgot about that.
There was this fake Balenciaga purse that was left at the party the other day. So I go in our group chat. I said, whose fake ass purse is this? She sends this text and she's like, my man loves me too, but his dick is so big. So you're loving on some little shit. Let's go.
Oh, and you see, you're the one that caused this. They would not be talking about his penis if you did not talk about his penis. You said it, and now the people are repeating what you say. And it's like, so now you're offended? Well, it's like, dude, you were the one that gave the people ammunition. And this is why I feel like I don't buy into the whole delusion where it comes across as Toya just feels like, oh, everyone just doesn't get where she's coming from, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, you should not have been speaking about your husband's penis in the first place. You were the one that you started this ish. Tommy says Toya needs to watch herself. Men hate their ego being bruised. Absolutely. Especially in front of people. Most men will tolerate your mouth if it's behind closed doors. If nobody really knows that's how they speak to or that's how you speak to them. But the moment the people start to know and then the people are making jokes, a lot of men are not going to be able to tolerate that. And so I think she needs to really get it together and know that if you want to keep that man, things are going to have to change, in my opinion.
At that party, it was like you looked at me like I was one of them. And I'm like, when did I become one of them just because I said be a leader and lead the men? I should be able to use words like be a.
Yeah, but why should you tell him to be a leader and lead the men? Like, I know she is a very literal person. So in her mind, she probably thinks she just means like, guy, just lead the men. You lead them, right? But that can come across as emasculating considering the context of everything we know about you and you guys' dynamic and all of the different conflicts that have happened in the past. You can't be saying words like that and expect that that would be okay.
A leader, honey.
The way you said it was
Then if something else ties me, he puts it right on top of it.
was
Hurtful.
yeah. There's times when you say something real rough, and then later when you recount it, say, "I only said it like this."
Exactly. And that's why I feel like she needs help because her delivery is so wrong. You know, one of those people who feel like they are truth tellers. Just because you are a truth teller does not mean you need to be bloody with it, does not mean that you need to be abrasive with it. There are ways in which you can have conversations and it does not have to go straight into the gutter. And this is what I'm always telling people. There are ways to de escalate situations. There are ways to have certain conversations. There is no need for you to be so abrasive in that kind of setting. And you're saying be a leader, and you don't think there was anything wrong in the way in which you spoke to your man. Why couldn't you have been sweet and say, "Hey, baby, could you please manage the guys with you and make sure they do this? Could you please, honey, could you please help me with this?" You could have done all of those things. You chose to say, "Eugene, can you be a leader?" And absolutely out of order.
That's not how I talk.
Okay, hey, I'm just saying. Here's me.
Sister, that is how you talk. You definitely be doing the most, sis. I don't know what to tell you, but you definitely be doing the most.
This is what I own. Playing too much. I should have left you alone because I do know that you need some space. I shouldn't have cursed. I shouldn't have let all your friends get in my head because I don't like it when they talk.
You see, I love that he owned his part. He owned his part and was like, "Do you know what? I shouldn't have let that happen. I shouldn't have done this, this, this. This is where I own. I shouldn't have let them get into my head with the all, a lot of the people at the events, they kept adding their ad libs, their little 2 cents. That's going to make anyone angry. That's going to make him want to pipe up, which is what he did. And sadly, it just didn't go down well on both ends.
About it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for your apology.
Okay. What did you do?
This is my thing. I would have wished that now watch her explain what she did. I can't lie, this scene pissed me off because of how she handled this. But let me not jump the gun. Let you guys see it for yourself.
What did I do? Well,
Sis, are you okay? Look at your husband's face. He's looking at you like, what? You can't even take accountability for what you did? That man is tired. Sister, he loves you, but don't take the piss. Don't take the piss.
I was being pushy. What I did second,
You were being pushy, yes. You were rude and disrespectful, yes. But guess what? Guess all she said? She said she was being pushy.
I shouldn't respond when people pull me into a negative scenario.
I shouldn't respond when people pull me into a negative scenario. That makes it seem like you are being reactive when in reality you were the aggressor in this conflict. You were the aggressor in this conflict. You were not being reactive, sister. And so I just don't like how it feels like still not taking accountability. It feels a little bit like she really is not taking accountability, in my opinion. At least that's how it comes across to me. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like she's coming across as not taking accountability in this scenario?
I should not be arguing with you or anybody else.
We were off that.
Okay, so you shouldn't be arguing with you or anybody else. So where is the apology for the way you spoke to this man? Where is the apology for the way you treated this man? These are the questions I have. Where is the apology? You're saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have. But where is the apology for speaking to that man with the level of disrespect that you did? There was, in my opinion, there's still no accountability from Toya. There is still no accountability from her.
Day, right? But we need to get back on. How you get back on is just feed into the love account.
I definitely could get better.
It's
Hurtful.
Yeah.
Better.
And the thing is, it's interesting that she even had the audacity to say be a leader, because let's be honest, the way he's coming across, that's how a leader comes across. He's out here trying to squash the conversation. He's out here trying to squash it, go through it, resolve the issues. That's what a leader does. You squash the beef. Now he's also trying to figure out, like, okay, what is the next thing? What is moving forward for us? And that's why he's thinking, okay, moving forward for us looks like pouring into the love tank. That is what a leader does.
At feeding you more words of affirmation, because I do it for the boys. I take for granted sometimes that you be working hard as hell and you be gone a lot, but
You can leave that part.
but my God, man, it's nice that I can depend on you.
Do you appreciate me wanting to play pool with you?
I do, and if you could.
And this is the thing. So I love that he's like, okay, we need to work on the love tank. We need to work on the love tank. We're not where we used to be. We need to pour into the love tank. And that's exactly right. If you guys are going through stuff, you need to spend more time together, do the things that you guys used to do initially that you enjoyed doing together to boost that feeling of like euphoria and, happiness that you guys had. And so I definitely think he's a great husband. I need her to do better, speak to him in a nicer way, be respectful. Don't be out here trying to act like you hate your husband. Be nicer. That's it. Because a lot of people are out here hoping that you fumble your spot so they can jump in. To be honest, your husband is the best husband on the show. Your husband is the only one that seems to like his wife compared to everybody on that show. Eugene honestly seems like a good man. I hope she doesn't take him for granted. Maybe she's a bit angry about him going away a lot. Yes, I'm sure that is also part of it because you want physical affection, you want all of that from your husband. I get it. But the way to get him back home is not the way you are speaking to him. If you want him back home, you being like this and you being aggressive and you being all of that is not going to bring him back home. If anything, it'll make it easier for him to stay where he's at. And so I just need her to like wake up a little bit, smell the coffee a little bit, and understand like, yo, don't take this man for granted because you will regret it. There's nothing out in these streets for you, sis.
just play spades and we'll really have, especially on vacation.
So,
You know how I want to play
I
cards.
went to Howard. At Howard, spades always turned into a fight.
Toya wants a fight, honey. She is like, let's put that energy into interesting activities. That's the vibe she gives me. So, Eugene, do what your wife wants. She wants to play spades. I know you are a little bit anti spades. You don't want to be getting into fights and disagreements, but give her what she wants. Give her what she wants. Because at the end of the day, I hope that she's giving you what you want because you like pool, so you guys are playing pool. But she likes spades. So every now and then, you two play spades. That's how you also pour into her love tank.
That's what all black people do. Better.
Yep. Let's see what the people are saying. Someone says Eugene is such a good person and a great husband. Absolutely. She literally has no respect for her husband. And from this conversation, he doesn't require any from her. She clearly doesn't think she did anything wrong. This is what gagged me personally. I felt like she did not fully believe that she did anything wrong. I think that was the bit that really got me personally. Because I'm like, girl, how are you going to be acting like you didn't do nothing wrong? That's the bit I can't mess with. Because I'm like, you do not take accountability. And it felt like it had to be drugged out of you. The whole accountability had to be dragged out of you for you to be able to take accountability, which for me is a problem. That is a problem. It's like you need to be able to take accountability for your actions. Nobody needs to direct to try to be like, oh, this is up. Nobody should need to do all of that. You should know better as a person to know how to take accountability for your actions. Eugene had the same amount of time that you had to focus and think about it and relax and whatever was the same amount of time that Toya had to think about it. Eugene thought about it, came back, and was out here with like solutions and taking accountability, but Toya could not do the same. Tommy says, who do y'all think is at fault, Toya or Eugene? There is a poll for you guys to complete about that. Let's see what the people think. Okay, so far everyone says Toya. So I think there is a consensus on that Toya is at fault. Everybody feels like Toya is at fault, and I definitely agree. I think that Eugene does have a part to play, don't get me wrong, but I think the biggest part of the fault is in Toya's hands. I think Eugene's part is she is out here at the party. She's already stressed. Step in and help your wife. Don't be part of the disruptions. So yes, that's where I stand about Toya's part or Toya's point of view. Um so let's move on to another story. Let me see, what is this? Okay, let me pull this up. Give me a second. Should we talk about Quad and King's IVF journey now? I think let's do that. So let's talk about that next. Let me get the link. Let me get the link. Oh, actually, let me talk about what Heavenly had to say first, because I think that is still kind of related to this Toya business. So.
So blessed, and so are my sons. And you are. Please wish your fathers and husbands an amazing Father's Day. Make sure you tell him that, Toya, preferably on camera.
Okay. So Heavenly is getting involved. You know, there's a text message where it sounds like Toya is basically, or Heavenly is basically saying, like, you need to wish your husband a happy Father's Day on camera. I mean, first of all, you can't tell a grown person how to act. And at the same time, Heavenly, you're the one that does not want anyone to speak about your family and what you've got going on. So, what makes you think that anything from the other point of view would be acceptable to begin with, right? So, just putting that out there, I'm not surprised that Heavenly is getting involved, but at the same time, I also understand Toya's point of view because it's like, yo, when you had things going on with your son, you did not want nobody talking about it at all. So why is it all of a sudden that this is now being a conversation, a topic of conversation? Very, very weird to me.
Yeah, in front of everybody, because you embarrass him in front of everybody. It makes us feel so fucking uncomfortable.
She's not wrong. You embarrassed him in front of everybody. You're making everybody feel uncomfortable. I think it was obvious that everyone was uncomfortable during that event.
Oh, okay, she did. She did so. Who sends a text on?
The funny thing though is everyone's mouth is open because everyone is kind of shocked that Heavenly said that. I get it, Heavenly should stay out of it, it's none of her business. But at the same time, at this point, I don't even mind anybody saying something. I don't mind anybody saying something right now to freaking Toya because Toya was out of order, in my opinion. So speak your speech, honey.
Father's Day, like telling somebody what they should say to their husband.
It was a positive text.
It wasn't a good
I felt like it.
This is where Heavenly loses me. Heavenly, there's no way on earth you are going to say that was a positive text. It was not a positive text, and that is okay. There's nothing positive about a message like that. Standing your truth. But when you're out here acting oblivious and you're saying to us, oh no, it was a positive text, like, girl, do you think we're stupid? It was not a positive text, and that is okay. You are allowed to feel how you feel, in my opinion. Feel how you feel. That's but stand in it. It was not a positive text, it was not a positive text. That is okay. That's how you feel, that's how you feel. But playing in our faces, making it seem like it was a positive text when it wasn't, is crazy to me. And so I'm definitely with Toya on calling that out. There's no way that was positive.
Was. Y'all are beefing, so why say anything? Because you messy.
Exactly. Brandy is right. That was all it was about. It was about being messy and standing it. I don't like you or whatever. I stand in what I said, what I said, and that's it. Period. Tommy says, but what is Dr. Heavenly's business? Why is she carrying it on her head? I agree. But this is what Heavenly does. Heavenly will carry everybody's business on her head, which is why I liked it when someone else carried Heavenly's business on their heads, like Toya did, because Heavenly is not going to address her issues, is not going to talk about nothing. But she would rather be out here not talking about nothing, but everyone else's business. So yes, I'm definitely with you on, it's not her business, but at the same time, I get it. It's like we're on a show. I don't want to talk about my business, so let me talk about your business. Does that make it right? No, but that's just what that is.
This is what I got to say. If you send a message out saying, make sure you tell her husband that on camera. But prior to that, Heavenly, it was a conversation about you speaking about her husband on his penis size.
And Heavenly is like, yeah, and what is wrong with that? I love how Angel is getting in and getting involved already. Love that. But yeah.
She had a problem with that.
I get Angel riding in for Toya. I get it. And I love that Heavenly is being called out. But at the same time, they need to also call out Toya. Toya, you're the one that said it. If you didn't say it, the people would not have ammunition.
Heavenly knows exactly what she's doing. You will get into under any woman's skin if you keep dragging their husband and saying, I'm so their husband and saying what size his genitalias are.
Exactly. It is definitely, I don't think it's okay to be making jokes about someone's penis size. They cannot change what the penis size is. That can't be changed, can't be helped. There ain't nothing you can do as far as I know. And so it just is what it is, really. So I can definitely understand how Eugene must feel disappointed, but it's so sad because it's your wife who caused this. Your wife is the one that chose to embarrass you.
I don't think you know when you offend someone.
She mentioned my family on the other text, so y'all act like y'all didn't see the whole text.
Yeah.
Don't with my family, that's it. If you do, know what is coming and be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I with yours.
Keep my husband's name out your mouth.
Yep, I'm definitely with Toya. Keep my husband's name out of your mouth. But at the same time, Toya, don't give the people ammunition so that they can be speaking on your husband the way they have been speaking on your husband. So, what I would need for you is also some accountability for what you have done and how you have created these monsters. Because so far, with a lot of the men, and the woman dynamic, a lot of the women, when they have arguments, they don't bring their husbands into it. They don't use their husbands to as topic of the conversation. They usually just fight it among themselves. But now it feels like every time anyone has to go against Toya, instead of focusing on Toya, the focus is always on Eugene, which is just terrible because Eugene definitely does not deserve that kind of behavior.
Doing negative to your husband, he might like it, I don't know. And all I was saying is, it was from a gut like,
Yep, I'm definitely with Toya. Shut the F up. Because you did not have nothing to say when they called out the fact that your son was arrested. Okay. You did not want nobody to say nothing about what you got going on. And it's interesting because it's like you have been able to get away with not showing your real life, not being authentic, not being transparent in any way, whilst everyone is at to work as hard to show their family, to be transparent. You have not been.
and you shut the what you need to do is shut the
Oh, the one thing I really can't stand about the Married to Medicine cast is sometimes they shout so much, and I'm just like, this is just so hard. Like I can barely hear what the argument is about. Like I would like to hear what each of them are saying, but they're just too loud.
Shady. You do this all the time. And you're a fucking liar.
and you're a damn fake ass bitch.
Okay, how is she a fake AB? Like I just don't get it. That's yeah. I don't see anything that Toya has done that warrants that particular insult, but whatever.
Some foolishness. It's like there's an obsession with being rude to each other that has come over this group. And I'm tired.
Their husband.
It's funny. Jackie can get away with really not doing much on the show, but giving her little ad libs like, oh yeah, the people in this group don't do nothing. They're always arguing. And that is it. She literally may do that, may be all she says in the whole season or in the whole episode. And that's still she got that check coming in. So I guess it's a good deal because she doesn't really have to do much. She doesn't have to really show up and engage with the cast, and yet she has the check. I wonder if she's the one that gets paid the most on the show. That would be interesting to know whether she gets paid the most. Imagine you don't have to do too much and then you're getting paid so much on the show. I guess that's a good deal. I wouldn't say no to a deal like that. So I know that for free. No way would I be saying no to that sort of deal. So I guess it is what it is. Okay, guys, to let's move on to Quad and King's IVF journey.